There we go. Hello, YouTube. Got another stream for you today. We're carrying on with Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. We're on the final case, the final episode, or whatever it is. Excuse me, dear Lord. We're on the final case. Chat, we're gonna solve everything, and everything will be fine in the world. It will be great. Everyone will be happy and be carefree, and my voice will be dead by the end of it. But that's okay. Turnabout Succession. I like how the autosave is before the manual one. Anyway, let's do it, chat. Let's see what happens. Turnabout Succession. And that is the whole truth of this case. What the fuck? Mesa, what do the numbers mean? That's my heart rate. Nah, it'd probably be higher. Oh, never mind. Someone died! In order to understand it myself, I had to know the story of these last 7 long years. What the fuck is going on? Are we in fucking VR chat? Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. It's now Watch Dogs. It's like Watch Dogs, fucking Black Ops, just everything VR chat. And now it's Doom. And now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of this story. Ooh. Yo, it's glitching. Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Next time on Ace Attorney. Oh, it's him again. Hey, Christoph, how's it going? We haven't seen you in a little while. October 7th, 10:37 AM. Write Anything Agency. Hey, Apollo, look, on TV. Look. Yeah, kind of busy. Whoa, look at that. He's the last, Grammary, alright, amazing. Apollo, you should be watching this. Ow, what? I was writing about our last case in my journal. Lawyers are supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not journals. And why now? That case was 3 months ago. Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know. I want to vacuum pack the feel of the moment for later. Right now, I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lamroir disappeared. That's right, Uncle Valon did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now. I was just getting to the good part. I suppose I should watch a little TV with her. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. What you're now seeing is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth. Happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. Sunshine Coliseum? Hey, that's where the Gaviniers concert was. Only 3 more days until miracles happen here right before your unbelieving eyes. The legendary Truth Grammary is performing for the first time in 7 years. That's gonna be great! I'm so there. You and Daddy are coming too. Legendary Grammaries. And if Trucy's real father was still alive, he'd be on that stage performing miracles. I got the tickets and everything. Here's yours, Apollo. That's nice. Weak. Ah, you're here. Working hard or hardly working? Oh, it's you again. Motherfucker. Hey, how have you been? Hi there, stranger. Not exactly the kind of greeting I want to hear from my own kid. It's a joke. It's a joke because he's been away for ages. Apollo, please. Even I know that. But he has been gone a long... Exactly! He has been gone a long time. How goes it, Trucy? Here, I got a present for you. Yay! Pudding! I love pudding. Oh, it's farm fresh. And not just one pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace myself. Well, I'm beat. That's right, Daddy. You're on a top secret mission. You've got to take it easy with the secrets, you know. How right you are. So, you still can't tell us what your mission is? Maybe it is time. It has something to do with you anyway. Huh? With me? Ooh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission too. Maybe you could be one of those guys. A spy. Can't I just be a defense attorney? To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. But what? Tell me. You've heard of the Juris system, yes? The Juris system? That's right. The new legal system everyone's talking about. Have you heard of it, Apollo? Huh? Maybe? Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. The Juris system, huh? Well, time to find out what the fucking Juris system is. Let's talk to you about it. I've got to also highlight the plant. So, Daddy, what's this Juris system thing? Well, Trucy, do you know what a jury is? I've heard of it. Isn't that those people who sit in court in those old courtroom dramas? The ones who get to decide if a guy's innocent or guilty? Do you know, Apollo? Only from TV. It's 12 people chosen from the community, right? I haven't had to do a jury thing yet. I probably will now that I've said it, but I haven't had the call yet. Well, they're thinking about reviving that system. They're calling the new system the Juris system. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. Not quite that harsh. The jurists cooperate with the judge. They help analyze the case from different angles. And there'll be only 6 of them under the current proposal, right? Wow, you know your stuff, Apollo. Their findings directly affect the verdict. Hopefully, people will start taking the courts a little more seriously now. I feel like I'm on some kind of educational TV show. Starring Dr. Wright. Dr. Wright, his assistant Trucy, and Mascot Apollo. The perfect team. Mascot? Hey! Secret mission. So, what is this secret mission? The Juris system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like this system are always risky, Apollo. Too true. Everyone's got an opinion and they just talk and talk and nothing gets decided. You know what? So true. So true. Kind of like you, Apollo. I'm not that bad, am I? In any case, we're going to give it a shot. A test, if you will. I don't like tests. We'll take a case as a sample and choose 6 jurists. I'll be the one helping with that process, incidentally. Helping how? Well, for one, I'll be chair of the Juris System Simulated Court Committee. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurist candidates, even the judge and the courtroom. Wow, it's like you have a real job! I was never that good at the piano, to be honest. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer, I guess. The trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. The trial simulation, that is. A simulation, huh? Sounds interesting. So, what kind of case is the trial simulation about? Well, since it is the first run-through of a new system, I wanted something simple. Good thinking. No sense wearing yourself out on something too serious. True, the case is a murder. That's not simple at all! By simple, did you mean that the defendant is... guilty. Yes, most likely. So, good luck, Apollo. With what? With the trial tomorrow. You're defending, of course. Recall that I said I had something to do with you. Oh, go for it, Apollo. It's just a test case anyway. No sweat. Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. And a potentially serious sentence. The most serious in the worst case scenario. You mean the verdict's for real? That's not a test trial. That's a real trial. All the forms have been filed. There's no turning back now. Dude, I get thrust into everything. Poor Apollo. Trial begins tomorrow at 10 AM. Hope you can make room in your schedule. Well, why am I only hearing about this now? Ah, yes. There was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Eh? Something that happened last night. The Art Gramarye. Hey Apollo, I know you're all excited about that secret mission, but what about this? The True Gramarye Grand Magic Show. Huh? Oh, right, the card tricks. They're not card tricks! They're grand illusions, miracles, the apocalypse, heaven and earth will shake. That heaven and earth will shake? Yeah. So what, that's 3 whole days from now. It's at Sunshine Coliseum, let's go today. We could say hi to Uncle Volant. Oh, have fun. What? I can't go by myself, you know I'm not very outgoing. Right. Why not go with her? But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. You'll hear all about it tomorrow, regardless. I don't trust that smile. He knows something that he's not telling me. Yippee! Now you can take me to the Coliseum. I suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there. Ah, Gramarye. That reminds me. What's this, Daddy? Isn't that silk hat the Gramarye seal? Consider it a birthday present, Trucy. Oh, thanks, it's great. But today isn't my birthday. Good point. What day is it today, Apollo? Huh? Today? I think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day. Then it's a Recycle Your Plastics present. Yippee! So it's plastic. I've given up trying to understand them. It's much easier that way. So what is it? No, open it, Daddy. No. Huh? You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Don't open it until then. Well, why didn't you just hold on to it until then? Because that would be the logical thing to do. An envelope about the Gramarys, huh? Trial simulation. Hey, we got some rewards points. Alright, so what case are you going to use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do! I mean, I'm going to be defending, aren't I? If all goes well, then yes, of course, this is just a test. We want everyone to start without preconceptions. A blank slate, as it were. There's a difference between having a blank slate and just being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Well, mine. Committee chair, remember? Oh. Well, if you want to know that badly, I suppose. I could give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Good! That's better! But you can't talk to anyone involved with the case. What? Then how am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. Remember, I'm in charge of this trial. All of it. But you don't want it to backfire, do you? Apollo, if I am in charge of the whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility. For good or for bad. Just do what you can. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Alright. I'd recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You can ask about the scene there. But you just said I couldn't talk to anyone involved. Oh, you can talk to your client. If you can get her to talk. Well, time's a wasting. Examine the plant. The plant? It intrigues you, doesn't it? Not really, it's just the only thing in here that doesn't have some secret function. No secrets, but lots of memories. And a name too. Want to hear it? Not really. His name is Charlie, if you were curious. Really, I wasn't. I know it's Charlie. Anyway. Bam. Yeah, we had a storm pass over us last night. Southwest England got very bad. Over where I am, it wasn't as bad, but they did say there was supposed to be snow, and we didn't get any. Where I live, nothing. Sad. Sad horse noises. I wanted a bit of snow. I mean, we had a bit of snow on Tuesday morning, which was quite nice. But we were supposed to get a bunch more, and we didn't. Yeah, just rain and more rain. Yeah, we had rain as well. Rain and wind, mainly. That's 20 minutes we've been waiting here. 20 minutes! Maybe I should complain? I'm sure that guard has better things to do than stand there pretending he doesn't see us. You know, the minute we get angry, the client will show. It always works that way. Like shouting, "Oh, waiter!" and they're standing right behind you. Oh, God! Is our client going to be much longer? What are you talking about? Haven't you already started the meeting yet? Huh? Oh. Eek! Where'd you come from? Well, anyway, please have a seat. I'm nervous, Apollo. It's the silence. It builds suspense. Why don't you do something, Trucy? You're a magician, aren't you? That's right. Okay. I'm the amazing Mr. Hat. Oh, bye. Eek! She passed out! This magic underwear might have been a better bet. That's magic panties, Apollo! I guess we can't frickin' talk. Introductions. Hi. Well, I'm your defense. I really think it has to be fate, you know. And by fate, I mean destiny. Did you know I'm good with astrology? Tell me, what's your sign? I can tell you mine if you like, Apollo. No, never mind. I just got carried away there. I seem destined to get difficult clients, it seems. Your name? So, what's your name? Alright, I'm supposed to introduce myself first. I'm Apollo. Apollo Justice. And I'm Trucy Wright. I know. This is getting nowhere fast. The case. Hey, I know. Maybe you can tell us what happened. I'm your defense attorney after all. Anything out of the ordinary happened lately? Well, the other day, this tourist from out of town stopped to ask me directions. Later, Trucy. I feel like I need to ask directions myself here. Well, that was fruitless. But I think I understand despair a little better now. Just play Danganronpa. You did good, Apollo. Ooh, what's that? Look, she's doing her nails. What? Are nails more important than defense? Is that it? Let's go, Trucy. Excuse me. Could you read this? Sure. I feel like a teenager on a first date. And this is the love letter we passed from desk to desk at school. Stop looking so wistful and read it, Apollo. It's a business card with a name and an address. The name is Vera Misham. The address is for Drew's studio. Vera Misham. Vera Mission. Vera Mission. I'm assuming that's what it's meant to be. Again, a lot of these names are puns. And you're giving me this card because? Well, it looks like we're finished here. I wonder if Drew's studio is the scene of the crime. Let's go find out. Oh, nice. This better not be AI generated. I doubt it. I doubt they are. Look, they actually have proper artists here. I mean, everything else is done very well. Why would they freaking use AI on those paintings? Wow, this looks like... It looks like a studio. That's called Drew Studio. It's like life imitating art. Or maybe it's the other way around. The tape on the ground there, it's a bit jarring. Yeah, looks like we found that crime scene. Apollo, look at all those paintings. Hey, don't touch those. It's okay, I'm just looking. Yeah, nice paintings. Huh? Apollo, look at this one. It looks half finished. You can still see the rough sketch underneath. But that's odd. The rough part doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all. Yeah, good point. That is odd. Alright, cool, man. All the paintings have a really different style, too. Ah! I thought I might find you two here. Oh, it's her again. Hey, Emma. Emma, long time no see. Oh? Seems like I run into you far too often. I'll bet I know why you're here, too. You know about the trial simulation tomorrow? I've heard about it, sure. So Mr. Wright chose you, huh? We don't even know what the case is about. Well, he was killed. The artist who owns this studio, that is. Mr. Drew Misham. Misham? I think it's Misham. And his daughter was put on the arrest. Yeah, we just saw her at the detention center. It was funny, though. He seemed more like a victim than the kind of person who could commit murder. You don't say. Not even by poisoning. That's how it was done, you know. Poisoning's a common way to get the job done when the murderer is a woman. But poisoning? Anyway, Mr. Wright told me you'd be coming. Feel free to take a look around. And I'll just be over here with my snackoos. We can't talk to anyone related to the case this time round. Which means we better find out as much as we can here at the scene. Or else. But we're going to talk to Emma anyway. So, this Drew Misham was some kind of artist? Apparently. Did a lot of illustrations for books, I hear. Had a lot of female fans too, for what it's worth. Oh? Well, I guess his stuff is kind of pretty. Like that oil painting over there, for instance. Yeah. That wasn't one of his illustrations, actually. Huh? So it was a standalone painting or something? Is that what she means? He was not Burn mission. Hadn't shown his face to anyone until the end. What do you mean, to anyone? He was always locked up here in his studio, apparently. His only connection to the outside world was through letters he'd put in that letterbox there. Letters? Do people still write letters? I think, there was a country that's actually, like, literally just stopped delivering letters. I think it was Denmark. I think Denmark literally put, like, the kibosh on, like, letter sending. Like, they only send packages now. I think it was Denmark. I need to look it up. It's one of the Scandinavian countries anyway. Was it the post office in Denmark? Yes, it was Denmark. Danish Postal Service to stop delivering letters after 400 years. 400 years, man. According to the decision earlier this year to stop delivering letters, it would cut 1,500 jobs in Denmark and remove 1,500 red post boxes amid the increasing digitalization of Danish society. Oh, they're auctioning the letterboxes. Danes will still be able to send letters using the delivery company Dow, which already delivers letters in Denmark, but will expand its services from about 30 million. So, okay, so the Danish Postal Service doesn't do it anymore, they have to use a private company. I think that's going to be the same over here eventually. I would assume that the Royal Mail will probably stop delivering letters, you have to use private companies. Anyway, what do you mean, Apollo? I mean, when was the last time you wrote a real letter? Honestly, I don't even remember either. I think the only physical mail I'm probably going to get, like, soon that's letter-ish is I'll probably get a new bank card soon because my one expires in 2 months. My current one expires, so I'm going to get a new one. How fun. When was the last time you wrote a real letter? Don't most people use email and stuff these days? Not Mr. Mission. Couldn't stand technology, it seems. He did everything by mail. Maybe he thought that way was more artistic, you know? In any case, the only person besides him allowed in here was his daughter, Vera. Oh, you mean the killer? The suspect, please. We took some fingerprints, of course. The only ones found in the room were Mr. Mission's and Vera's, basically. Basically? Well, actually, last night, Mr. Mission gave an interview to a reporter for the first time. It happened during the interview, apparently. First interview ever? Could you tell us a bit more about what happened the night of the murder? Well, about the defendant first. So, this woman, Vera, she's Mr. Mission's daughter, right? Yes. Yep, a real sickly girl ever since she was little. Hardly ever went outside. It kind of give off a withdrawn sort of aura. It's me. Except my immune system's is a little better. Good lord. We had like a freaking we had like the freaking flu go through our house like over the holiday period. My dad caught it and my sister caught it. My mum and myself have not. At least not yet. She was homeschooled by her father apparently. It was quite a scene when they took her to the detention center. She was screaming about how she'd die if they took her outside. That does sound like a scene. In the end, she agreed to leave if she was allowed her good luck charm for company. A good luck charm? Apparently, she has this charm that magically gives her the courage to go outside. Man, that's some placebo. Why can't I ever get a normal client? Why would a shut-in daughter kill her own dad? Don't look at me. About the poison, it was found to be in his coffee, right? Nope, not precisely. Not precisely? What does that mean? It means see for yourself, I think. Night of crime. Like I said, last night was the first time someone from the outside came into this studio. And I guess mysterious painters who never go outside make for good articles. And it just so happened that he died the night of his first interview? Around 9 PM every night, Vera always made him a cup of coffee. Last night, he drank his usual coffee and suddenly became violently ill. And died? You poisoned him on the night of his interview? Wouldn't the reporter see? He wasn't near Mr. Misham when she bought her father his coffee. He was checking out some equipment in the back of the room. Supposedly, that's why she didn't notice he was there. It was the reporter who called the police, in fact. Wait, but why is she the suspect? If anyone is suspicious, it's the reporter! Yet the reporter never got near Mr. Misham's coffee. Even Vera acknowledges that. Regardless, I want to know more about this reporter. Reporter! Yeah. Coffee. I imagine this coffee cup was for guests to use. Guests? Did the police already analyze this cup too? Not a trace of poison was found on that cup, but the killer was after Drew Misham alone. Ah, that's the victim's coffee mug. Aha! So the poison was in here. This is my first time seeing a real poison mug of coffee. I would hope so. Poison coffee? Not exactly, actually. What do you mean? No traces of poison were found in the coffee. What? You'll have to figure out the rest yourself. I'm officially not on your side, after all. When were you ever? Hey, there's a painting hidden back here. Hey, you're right. What if it's embarrassing somehow and he didn't want anyone to see it? I mean, he certainly seemed pleased by the possibility. Huh? It's so normal. That's hardly something to get mad about. Huh? What is it, Polly? It's the same as the other one, isn't it? Oh, doesn't this painting look like... Never mind. Yeah, it's the same as the other one. I better get a professional opinion on this. Alright. Let's take a closer look at this desk here. There's an envelope. This envelope has been opened and resealed. Ooh, I know how to do that. You take a pot of boiling water and hold the envelope up to the steam. The glue melts and opens. Cool, huh? Whoever did this wasn't so delicate. Right, looks like they just ripped it open and stuck it back together. Huh? The postmark on this letter is from 7 years ago. Why would someone open a letter, then seal it again? I'd better hang on to this. Whoa. Forensic science. I bet Emma could help us out here. Don't forget, flattery will get you everywhere with her, Apollo. Huh? What are you two whispering about? Well, I was thinking. I mean, what is it we always do when we run into you at a crime scene? What is it we always do? Scientifically. Ah, you know me too well. Okay. Okay, meaning we can get, scientific now? Oh, I suppose. Just this once. Bring me anything you find suspicious and we'll check it out. Hell yeah, dude. Ay. There's a blue stain there. Who's that? Hey, look there! That stain doesn't look so healthy, Apollo. That must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about. Something tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue. No, this stain is probably... better ask Emma. Oh, I got a present. Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue, residue on the rim. Eh? That? Yes, well, it's just a rumor. But I've heard there's a kind of coffee called Blue Mountain. I'm pretty sure it isn't actually blue, Emma. Ah, right. Okay, you got me. That's left over from my testing spray. Forensic science. I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma. It's not a hobby. So what kind of scientific stuff were you up to? This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. So the poison that killed the victim was on this mug. That's right. See? It wasn't in the coffee. The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself. Wow, science is amazing. And it certainly is helpful. Maybe Emma would be willing to help us out a bit more. You should try buttering her up, Apollo. They say flattery will get you everywhere. And it's certainly worth talking to her a bit more. About poison analysis? I was afraid you were going to ask about that. See, this solution is used to test for atroquinine. Hold on, I got this. Atroquinine. Atroquinine. I was going to hopefully pronounce it, but it's actually completely fictitious. It's completely fictitious to the fucking game. Never mind. It's not an actual real thing. Atroquinine, the deadly poison found in the autopsy. Uh-oh, I know that spark in her eye. She's getting excited. Best tread lightly. One of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. Oh, and guess what? Recent research has shown that's fine, really. We don't need to know all the gory details. I think I get it. You just spray the stuff on something you want to test, right? Precisely. You can find even the slightest trace of poison with this. I want to try too, Emma. Pretty please. You don't have to ask twice. I already used it on everything suspicious, of course. Yay! Let's give it a whirl, Apollo. Ah! What are you doing? I was just seeing if I got a reaction off of you. How's this for a reaction? Never do that again! I'm not poisonous. Tell that to those hapless witnesses on the stand. Let's just get down to checking for real poison, shall we? Ooh. Do I get to spray it everywhere? Poisons! Poisons everywhere! Yeah, I get it. Is there anything on the other side? Oh man. Yeah, too bad. No reaction there. I'm sure Emma checked out all the likely spots. Wait a second. Where's it, Apollo? Did you spray that little desk over there? I don't think so. The spray probably can't reach that far, you know. Well, let's check it out, just to be sure. Oh my god. Ooh, blue. Eek! A reaction, Apollo! Ah! Where? The inside of that cute little frame. Look! Wow, would you look at that? Nice going, Trucy. I'm known to work magic. Never mind that. I was the one who found it! Poor Apollo. Why would the inside of that frame have poison on it? It looks like we found the only other place that was poisoned in any case. Bruh. What a wild thing. Emma, about this? Oh, that? Yes, why is that a bright... Why, that's a bright red envelope. Sure is jumpy. Someone opened this, didn't they? My lips are sealed. The lips are sealed? Oh, that's a first. You mean, you know what's inside the envelope? Sure, I read it after all. Ah, you mean you were the one who ripped this open? Ha, please, I would have steamed it open. But she did sneak a peek at it, apparently. Know that I have a powerful weapon on my side. A weapon? Yes, the use of tools, highly specialized tools for information gathering. Tools I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. You should try flattering her, Apollo. They say a little praise can open big doors. Never heard that one, but it's good advice. Let's try talking to her some more. About that envelope we found. I was wondering if you could help us out with that tool you were mentioning. Hehehe, you want to know about my tool, do you? It's called an X-ray analyzer. X-ray, like the X-rays you get at the dentist? That's right, at least that's what I call it. Huh? It has a real name, but it's much more complicated. The X-ray spectralization... something. How am I supposed to remember all that? So basically it lets you see inside things like envelopes. That's right, you're sharp, Trucy. But it's a bit more complicated than that in practice, of course. Actually, to tell the truth, I'm not really sure how it works scientifically. Can I try it out, Emma? Please? Oh, I suppose. Of course, I've already checked out everything suspicious myself. Alright, let's give it a spin, Apollo. Yeah, what are you doing? Oh, just seeing if I can see through your hair, but it's like lead. Point that thing at me anymore and it might all fall out. And I wouldn't need an X-ray machine to see through it. Let's just get down to business, shall we? I feel really bad for Apollo. Right, let's test it on the sample first. It just so happens that I have a lottery ticket here. You set the sample in the device like so. I don't see anything. Patience, there's no need to get all antsy. Look at the right side of the screen. That's the layer view of the envelope. Layer view? You got it set to display the outside of the envelope now, see? Actually, it's quicker to just have you give it a try. Turn that dial there with right stick for me, would you? I'm not even using the right stick. That's right, that's how you choose what depth you want to scan. Hey, I got something. See, that's how you can read the letters on the ticket inside. Cool, huh? Except, I can't read them. Turn the dial a little more. What you have to understand is that a sheet of paper isn't really flat at all. When you zoom in that much, you see that paper is like a bunch of hills and valleys. Wow, really? This X-ray device uses a beam with a wavelength of only 0.05 microns. It breaks cards down into thin layers, so it can only show what's written on that layer. I'm not entirely following you, but what good is it if you can't read anything? That's why we go on to step 2. Try rubbing the image a bit, if you would. Rubbing, like going over the image with left stick while holding A? There, that fixes the image on the screen. Now turn the dial again, just a little. Good, now you can rub this image to fix it too. Hey, I get it. We just keep doing this until we got the whole thing. Exactly, not bad. Neat, let's do some more. Yo. I can kinda read it. Big winner! Okay, let's print this one out. Woohoo! I'm a big winner! Hahaha, see, this is the true hidden power of my weapon. Neat, huh? Let's try it out on the real thing, shall we? I kind of like this mechanic. The shame we don't get to use it till the last case in the game, but you know. Something about money. Okay, let's print this one out. Mr. Drew Misham, I deposited $100,000 in designated account. Please send a receipt once you confirm the transfer. Someone deposit $100,000 into Mr. Misham's account? His paintings must be really valuable. There's another page in there. Let's take a look. You bet I do. If you're going to read someone's mail, you might as well read it all. Here goes with the second page then. Oh god, chat, I was talking about, in a call yesterday, I was talking about like PS2 games I played and some of like the real shitty ones I played. It turns out like the worst like rated one on Metacritic I've played before. And I'm like, oh no. I was always attracted to bad games. Okay, let's print this one out. Sign the papers and send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not remind you to speak of this to no one. There was a letter about payment for one of his paintings. Why all the secrecy, though? And what? And why was this letter the only one in here? It's 7 years old, right? Maybe it had some special significance to him? Well, Emma? Well, indeed. You know something she's not telling us. Looks like she's keeping mum about it. So, Emma, I was wondering, what's the story about this reporter that came here for a story the night of the crime? I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be a witness tomorrow, I hear. I thought so. I'll never forget that face, but what was his name? Oh, right. Brushel. Brushel? He's after a scoop to sell to the papers. The reporter comes for an interview with a painter. His first interview ever, and that night he's killed. Seems strange to you? Really strange. It does raise a few questions. I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could. Well, I hear he's on the beat today too. He said something about covering a magician. Magician? Well, if it's not true, see, that leaves only one other person. It wasn't Valant Gramarye by any chance, was it? Yeah, something like that. He's got some big show lined up, I hear. So he's out interviewing Valant Gramarye. Looks like I'll be heading out to that Colosseum again sooner than I thought. Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want. Man. That's a lot of stuff there. Sunshine! Sunshine! Sunshine, sunshine. Ladybug's awake. Clap your hooves and do a little shake. I think that's how it went. Woohoo! This is it, Apollo! The place where magic and dreams converge. Just a while ago, it was a place where murder and nightmares converged. Let's go say hi to Uncle Valant. What about the case? Well, only a performer laughs like that. Young Miss Trucy. How often I hope we meet again only to tell myself it was an impossible dream. Tee, Uncle Valant, how's it going? I'm glad to see you too. Of course you are. Humility is definitely not one of his stronger traits. Well, Miss Trucy, how does the day find you? If you've come to give me flowers, do it after the show, I beg you. Actually, we came to wish you good luck. And congratulations on your big magic show. Oh, but it is I who wish to congratulate you. Not everyone is so lucky as to witness miracles such as the ones I shall perform. Yeah, you're amazing. We get the picture. The world will watch in wonderment as Magnifi's illusions are reborn. Here on stage by my hand. Cool, man. Big magic show. Everyone's talking about the big magic show. Is it true that the Gramarye miracle is back after a 7-year absence? It's true, see, I must apologize. This show and this honor should have been his. Daddy. My co-magician in training, Zach Gramarye. That terrible thing, Alan. It's okay. Your father was a great magician, Trucy. If he were alive, then I, Valant Gramarye, would have been proud to stand upon this stage as his assistant. Thanks, Uncle Valant. You know, I'm happy you're doing the show. The thing, we get to see the great Magnifi's illusions again. She really is looking forward to this, isn't she? Magnifi. My mentor, the magnificent Magnifi Gramarye, was a true deity among magicians. A creator god who gave birth to magic and illusions that defied our very imaginations. I was so little when I last saw one, but I still remember his shows. He did wheelies in the sports car through the air above the audience, and then sped off to outer space faster than the speed of sound. I'm guessing that memory was a bit embellished. For 7 long years, the world has been waiting for a miracle to match his. As heir to the Gramarye Troop's secrets, it falls to me to provide one. It is my God-given destiny. Yes, you nameless face who speaks for the nameless masses. How can I help you? If the world was waiting, why did you hold it off for 7 long years? It appears the lad is uninformed. Perhaps you have heard of the magic known as law which governs our land. I have, though I'm not sure it qualifies as magic. The performance of Magnifie's miracle was impossible. A certain law prevented it for 7 years, but no more! 7 years? That phrase sure likes to pop up, doesn't it? And why was that? A little matter called performance rights, Miss Trucy. Alright. Can you tell us about these performance rights? Magnifie's magic relied on an incredibly innovative idea, a trick if you will. That trick was considered his property and as such was protected by property laws. Intellectual property maybe? Magnifie knew this and bequeathed it in his will. The one person. You mean him? Yes, Miss Trucy, it was your father. Zach Gramarye was the inheritor of the Gramarye miracle. The daddy? Yet, as you well know, he is gone. He disappeared suddenly, 7 years ago. I think I see where this story is going. Once a person is classified missing for a certain period of time, they're considered legally deceased, correct? In all absoluteness, those rolled up sleeves conceal your competence well, young man. That certain period of time of which you speak is 7 years. Ah, yes, Miss Trucy. Though it pains me to say it, this past spring, April to be precise, was the time. Your father was legally declared deceased. In the absence of a formal will, the secrets of our mighty mentor Magnifie passed to me. This was, in fact, stipulated in the will by Magnifie himself. Is that how it works, Apollo? Yeah, it's called death in absentia. Absentia. Whatever. He's declared missing permanently. Daddy. I think it's absentia. Alright. So, a journalist was here on a story. All eyes in the universe are upon my stage. All pens seek to commit its mysteries to paper. His name was Brushel. Brushel. I think he remembers him. He doesn't look too happy about it. Brushel. That cloying smell of mint when he smiles, yes. Could you tell us more about him? What does he want? A man by that name called on me just now. Just now? Valant's vision is always towards tomorrow. Valant's feet step always forwards. That is all. That's all. Very confusing. I am to perform a big magic show, yes? I wanted someone to cover it. Yet, he had ears only for that incident. That incident? In any case, I requested that the rapacious reporter remove himself. So a painter has died. What of it? It is but a footnote in the footlights compared to the magic of Gramarye. Uncle Valant, do you know where the reporter went? I recommend that you visit that place popular with penalized perpetrators. Oh, the detention center? He was a rude individual. Might I see that card? Sure. He would tear apart my respectability. I will tear apart him. Ooh, here it comes, Apollo. Uncle Valant's big magic trick. Is he going to fix the card? Not sure that qualifies as big magic. What happened to the big magic? Is it not more miraculous for it to stay ripped? You must have really not liked that journalist. He's like, no, fuck you. I was wondering if you could tell me about this. Aha! Why, that bears the Gramarye seal. Uncle Valant, is something wrong? Trucy, where did you get this? Daddy gave it to me. Your daddy? My partner's like, no, my other daddy, Phoenix Wright. Why now? Why would your Lord Daddy... Lord Daddy? That's kind of stretching the whole archaic thing a bit. Lord Daddy. That's going to be my nickname. Lord Daddy. This signature upon the back, do you recognise it? That belongs to none other than Zach Gramarye. What? Daddy signed this? Might I be so bold as to open it? I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. What's in this envelope, I wonder? Now, the time has come when I must return to make my prestigitation preparation. By your leave, Miss Trucy. Thanks, Uncle Valant. 3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. What do you think that journalist was after? And why did Valant react like that to this envelope? I think it's time to pay the detention center another visit. You know what? I agree. Hey, man. October 7th. I think I hear what you're saying. We're all doing it for the money. End quote. No, not at all. Looks like someone's already meeting here. Maybe that reporter? Oh my god. What is on your face? What the fuck? Hey there, how you doing? Who might you be? Sorry, we didn't know someone was already here. I'm Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Talk about a nervous monkey. You? You're Justice? You? You know me? Do I know you? Of course I know you. There's damn witnesses on stand till they spill beans. That's not true! What's he writing? Are you a reporter by any chance? Woo, you're Trucy. Eh? Am I famous? Oh yeah. Trucy Wright hates carrying a bag. Puts everything she owns in her panties, end quote. Eek! That's so not true. Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy. Interview? So, guard, I think I know what's going on here. Guarding rooms is my life. What else could I possibly need, end quote. No, how many times do I have to tell you this? Look, I've got work to do. You deal with him. Did you come here to interview the guard? Oh what a pickle. Accused wouldn't talk, had to interview someone or go plumb crazy, end quote. Huh? I should have guessed. Where are my manners? Name's Brushel, Spark Brushel. I'm not picky. Journalist just closes his eyes, writes, end quote. What's that nauseatingly strong mint smell every time he grins? Till you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what thrilling is. Wild romp through crossroads of mayhem. Madness, end quote. I can see that. He's writing something again. On his arm? Well, he's a reporter. Maybe he knows something. So, Mr. Brushel, you're a journalist? Ah, me? Look, let me state one thing for the record here. Yes? I'm the interviewer, you understand, yeah? I'm the one asking the questions here. End quote. Okay. For instance, you think a movie director watches movies? Well, I think he probably does. Exactly! I knew you'd understand. Night of the crime. So, the night of the murder, you're at Drew's studio? Who, me? Oh, let me state one thing for the record. Yes? I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy. Real busy. Always on the road. Journalist always buys one-way tickets, never looks back, end quote. I can understand that philosophy, but you want to know the thing about one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. All because you have to give them to the guy at the airport. Why has he got a toothbrush? True enough. But don't they give normal tickets away too? Exactly. See, it's the same thing. Is it though? What is? The interview. So you went to do a story of Drew Bishop, and he never had a story done about him before. That's right. Look, let me state one thing for the record here. What? I'm sure you're going to want to know about my source. What tipped me off to Drew? Why did the interview in the first place? Well, yes. Look, it's like... Oh, I got it. Say there's this burger joint with fabulous ketchup. You think the burger guy is going to tell me where he got it? At the supermarket, maybe. Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about. I think I may have actually understood that one. Well, there's nothing I can talk about, really. Walls of ears, eyes, especially glass walls of speakers, end quote. Right, guess we'll leave then. Ah, but since you're here, might as well tell you a tidbit of news I saw, just for the heck of it. Sure, tell us, just for the heck of it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'd seen a movie on a trip and wandered into this burger place with amazing ketchup, when an article in a tabloid caught my eye. Famous oil painting stolen from art dealer's gallery, end quote, I believe it was. An oil painting. Happens every day, right? But I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. Painting of a giant peach floating down the river. I once stole an oil painting of a giant peach. Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers, end quote. Ooh, what a tidbit of information we got. Ay. October 7th. Well, how'd it go? Find anything out? Well, actually, there was one thing I wanted to check with you. What's with that scary face you're making? And what's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you got going, Emma? This painting came from behind that dresser. Ah, yes, so? It was stolen, no? I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out. Do you think you could tell us a bit about this? I suppose. It's what you think. Drew Mission was a forger. A forger? Oh dear. So, what exactly is a forger? Well, basically it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes? Copies of an original. Exact copies so precise you can't tell them apart. Well, why not just photocopy them? The big problem with forgeries is that people try to sell them as the real article. It's a crime, of course. So Drew Mission was a criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries. To supplement his work in illustration, I guess. I see. Actually, that's why I bought this here in the first place. What do you mean? When you're trying to determine if a painting is a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. The rough sketch is like practice for the real thing! Like doing a magic trick in front of a mirror before you go on stage. But not in the case of a forgery. Not necessarily, anyway. You know what the finished product is going to look like, after all. Oh yeah, I guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's under the paint of the finished pieces. I get it now. Not that I really needed to go such lengths, seeing as one of the paintings was only half finished anyway. Still, it would be neat to see Mr. Mission's rough sketches. Kind of like what he was drawing when he thought no one was looking. Yeah, true. That would be interesting, and maybe valuable for our case. You should try buttering her up, Apollo. Flattery will get you everywhere, they say. Maybe I should ask Emma to help us out. Again! Portrait, acrylic, and landscape. I've got to do all three, anyway. I kind of wanted to see the rough sketch under this painting. And I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick. Oh, fine. Just this time, though. Let's check it out. Oh, boy. I can't tell what this is. I assume we'll find out. Ooh. Let's print this one out. Oh shit, it's the poker game. Like a poker game. What? What the heck? Wow, it really blows. The finished painting isn't anything like the rough. Vice like mine didn't exist till recently. You probably thought you could draw any sort of thing you wanted to for the rough. What do you mean? Well, in the past, you could only analyse the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? In other words, the traces of charcoal between paint and canvas, so you could tell if there had been a rough sketch, but not what it looked like. Ah, I think I follow you. So in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath the finished painting. Some bros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely, and do a completely new painting on top of that. The Mr. Mission was drawing whatever he wanted before painting over them. I wonder if some artists I know do that. Maybe they have hidden things underneath, underneath their drawings. Probably not. Probably not, but it would be. It's funny to think about. Possibly. Is there a problem with that? Not particularly, but something about the sketch itself is kind of odd. You're awfully silent awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo. You think we could check out one of the other paintings? Well, sure, you like this detection stuff, don't you? Dude, I wonder if this has something to do with the fucking poker game from the fucking first case. I wonder if freaking Gavin's gonna be back again. Clavier Gavin. I like him. Maybe not as much as Edgeworth, but I like him. Oh, it does have this got to do with all the cases. It's all the cases. The fucking noodle stand thing again. This one too. What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden. You think I could just look at the last of these? Fine by me. Knock yourself out. It's all the cases we've done. That's wild. So I'm assuming this one has to do with the freaking concert, right? Yep, sure is. It's freaking when his guitar caught fire. Yep. It has to do with all the cases. What the heck is all this? I hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited. You sure your device isn't leaking some kind of strange radiation? Trucy, look at these 3 sketches. Do you notice anything? They're all the previous cases. That's cool. Ah! Now you're both white as sheets. What's going on? These sketches are the 3 cases I worked on. What? The murder in the poker room at the Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then the events that transpired during the Gavineers concert. What do you mean? How could he have drawn those things? And why? That's what I want to know. Wait. Is Drew Mission your father? Oh, give me a break. Does that seem even remotely possible to you? Hey, it could be. I'd never even heard of any Drew Mission before. I hadn't even seen a picture of him. But there were my cases drawn on his canvas. Every single one of them. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Mission? And what did he have to do with me? Dude, now I'm invested. I'm fucking invested, dude. This is wild. October 8th, 9:48 AM. And lobby number 6. Good morning. So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W. Not right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything. Please. Good morning. He speaks! Not bad. But I think you'd do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know? Trucy! Let's take it easy for starters. Thank you for taking my case. She's like the kid from Yakuza 3 who couldn't speak, but she just drew everything she could. She was like mute for like the longest time until like the end of the game. Speaking of which, fucking Kiwami 3 comes out next month. Oy. Okay, well that's a start, I guess. And there she goes with the nail polish again. That's great, really. It's so cultured. Wanna try? Ooh, really? Girls. The victim, Drew Mission, was a forger, and a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really, and maybe one that led to his death. October 8th, 10 AM. 10 AM. Courtroom number 3. Hey, Clavier's back. Hell yeah. Well, we will now begin the trial of Veromisham. The judge okay? His voice is all raspy and he's looking around all nervous like. The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever. Today is a test of the jurist system, and the first step towards a new order in our courts. Daddy's secret mission. Jurists will function like a jury. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will. Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? 3 closed-circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires. Jurists! Judge Well and Judge Cool. Now see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that. My apologies there, Judge. Jurists, today, Judge today's trial coolly, if you will be so kind. Jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial of evidence, but by their feelings. And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin, the details of the case, if you would. The victim is the painter Drew Mission. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned. By whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant, Veromisham. Smack. There wasn't any poison in the coffee. Achtung! Someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself. The mug? Ah, residue was found on the rim, I see. The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death. The court accepts this as evidence. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning, a chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. Fucking Christ. A touch of atroquinine in your body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin, you may present your witness. I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. A journalist, no doubt. The witness will state his name and occupation. That fucking nose. Ah, right. Well, for starters, my name's Spark Brushel. My job is a lone observer of the world. In other words, a freelance journalist, right? If you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record. Yes, Mr. Brushel? I dislike conclusions, specifically the aspect of jumping to conclusions. Preconceptions make parks sandbox of endless desert waste. End quote. But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday. Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel. End quote. Let's hear your testimony then, shall we? A simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. Of course it is. Ugh, the journalist's story. I visited the studio around 9 o'clock that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier, journalist history made, end quote. Atelier. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next. Star fools, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him. What are you saying, Judge? Need I remind you the cameras are rolling today? I felt the need to be a bit dramatic. You didn't do it, did you? Me do a thing like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. I know, wild accusations, rock courtroom, end quote. Rock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. I'm so happy for him. Very well, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please. More cross-examinations. Just outside the entrance of the atelier. Hold it! You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio? Posterity will look back on that night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind, but a giant step for that Brushel guy, end quote. If no one on the outside ever had access to the studio, then it would serve to reason that the deed was done by an insider, by which he means Vera did it. So, how did this epoch. Dude, these fucking words, dude.
Epoch.
Epoch? Epoch meeting interview go. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. What's this about a star falling? Star falls. It's like an old telegram. Send money over. Dowie, you don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls. Get it? There's no gravity in space, is there? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really. Does this matter? Oh boy, this is good stuff. Good stuff. How about star breaks? Nah, lacks punch. I know. Star dies. Nah, lacks imagination. Of course, you could go with Drew dies, straight to the point. I like it. I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. The star's coffee. You say Mr. Mitchum had the coffee too, but did you actually see him drink the coffee? Of course. He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger, end quote. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world. Yeah. I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lips to mug, drinks, end quote. That poison is quite virulent, I hear. My stomach did a so-called somersault, since I gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there! Some kind of so-called trick! Anyone want to venture a guess, for the record? Does this guy have a pause button? Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable? Very important. The victim drank his coffee, then immediately fell over. Oh yes, you can go to press for that one. Your Honour, this is a vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony. Very well, the witness will add this to his testimony. Vital, right. Well, he didn't immediately keel over, did he? Because the thing's very slow, it's 15 minutes. Objection! You know why I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used, atroquinine. Old Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile. Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information. An omission? Atroquinine is as virulent as he says, but death doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atroquinine is slow-acting. Slow-acting? What? According to one forensic scientist, it's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. If we suppose that the moment Mr. Mitchum sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would still Holy shit, I am vomiting words. I am vomiting words. Hold on, let me try this again. Then he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe. I got it. There we go. Order! What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why, that contradicts the entire testimony we've just heard. Well, Mr. Brushall, anything to say? On the record. Slow acting. S-L-O-W-A-C-T. It was virulent, alright. Even then it had already begun digging its claws into the journalist. Working on a scoop. It's Brushall, yeah? Brushall? Let's take a trip back down memory lane. Huh? Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital. You know what I think? I think that was a not so subliminal suggestion, end quote. I admit it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I would be forced to say auf Wiedersehen to my simple case. And you would be forced to say farewell to your article. Come again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. Scoop? Scoop? Look, wait. Just wait a second. Just 1 second. Oh, we're waiting. Out of it! I think I just recalled a so-called important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story survival, end quote. Eternally utterly confused, end quote. Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I heard of poison that takes its sweet time, see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently. Mr. Brushall, are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened? You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say. Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say. I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee. Order! 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 As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony that Mr. Mission died the instant after he drank. Of course I'm standing by my testimony, and my dream of exclusive rights to this story. Ack. I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case, not him. Him? Phoenix Wright, who else? Achtung, Herr Brushall! A report for us, if you would. What is it that you noticed? This court is a critical trial of the juris system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed. Yeah, do it, you idiot. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Mission was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note? Bruh. A suicide note? Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face inscrutable as a quadratic equation. End quote. Suicide? Oh, poor Mr. Mission. That means Vera's innocent. Would someone commit suicide in the middle of an interview? Oh. I mean, it's happened on TV before. Don't look it up, Chad, because it's kind of horrifying, but I know about the one time someone actually did do that on TV. They actually made like a movie based on it. Wildly. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Anyway. Being writing the letter, they quickly seal the envelope. Blech! Heard it! So he put the letter away when he saw you. Early reporter gets worm, end quote. That's my secret. I'm not sure I follow. It's the night of the interview. I arrive 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in. Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really? Mr. Bishop sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as fast as he could. I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one. It does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice? I wonder. It does have the ring of something important. Yeah, add to it. The defense finds the testimony vital, Your Honor, because it's a red envelope, not a yellow one. Very well, please add it to the testimony then. Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge. But it was red. Objection! Objection! As it just so happens, there was a single letter in the desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope. What? What the hell? What the hell was that? Prosecutor Gavin. Yes? Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime? Unfortunately, no, but Herr Forehead, it's easy to mistake the colour of an envelope. I guess. But not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already, 7 years ago. Oh, Mr. Brushel? I can explain that. Drew, right? He wanted to get that letter in an envelope pronto. Get it out of sight of my beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away. And what about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump? Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claim? That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope. Possible. That's impossible. Ah, I like your expression. So full of confidence. It's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope. With, the assistance of a forensic scientist. What? Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Mission. Oh? Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself. I've been scooped! Order, order, order! Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court? Oh, my, how could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots, end quote. I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brushel. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Mission sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp, end quote. A stamp? Whatever for? Well, to mail his letter. What else? And then, why yes, I think I saw him put it in his letterbox. Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put it in that box. Well, apparently this yellow letter has nothing to do with this case. Oh, how I wish it did. Just think if that were a suicide note. What a story. Star writes suicide note in front of a reporter. Fools! End quote. As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That said, yes, Your Honor, it makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope. Bum. Bum. Hell yeah. $100,000 is quite a good deal of money. This was from 7 years ago, yeah? So, am I finished here? Am I finished here? I was thinking of, you know, going home to start writing. Oh. I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that rather unique face. Come on! Attorney has active imagination, little else, end quote. Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. You know, I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about. Judge's active imagination, end quote. Please continue with your testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story. Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here. Usually. Dude wraps his tongue around his own head. That's quite the story. Another story. Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leverages story, gets his interview, end quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. So you threatened to go to the press with the story. That's how you got your interview? Blackmail? Well, yes. I mean, no! No. It wasn't exactly I'm not... something wrong, Mr. Brushel? Look! This is my story, my tidbit. Journalist info is livelihood, end quote. I see. Why you have me chatting away in here? What's going on out there? What if some Wally Wordsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? They could be going to press while I'm going to waste. The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace. A certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago? Again! Always 7 years ago. Why 7 years? I'm good, my bracelet's working again. Because it's time to perceive!
Gotcha!
Sweaty! Sweat much, Mr. Brushel? Yeah, well, man can't help his glands, you know? It's more than that. When Mr. Mishap's talent was mentioned, you suddenly began to sweat buckets. You're hiding something about his talent. What? That's ridiculous. Evidence time. Let's show what Mr. Mishap's true talent lay. It just so happens I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in that letter. Take that! This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. The first is it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. The second is that there was another painting in the studio, which looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000, which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries! Ugh! My man. That's impressive. That is all, Your Honor. Everyone, please, everyone. Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop. Forgery, that's a serious crime. Drew Misham is known as an artist these days. But there were rumours he dabbled in another kind of art until a few years back. Another art meaning forgery? Drew Misham was talented, alright. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. A fact that certain criminal elements were quick to discover. Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about... What did this guy forge? A beauty contest? Not this guy. Exactly. I'm talking about forging evidence. The rumours started circulating 7 years ago. Also, hello, Ruby. Hello. 7 years ago? So are we to understand that this letter, this payment $100,000 was for exactly forged evidence nets tidy profit, end quote. Ooh. Must be forged evidence about Phoenix's case. Order, order, order! Why, it's like our victim was living a double life. Aha, this is my chance. What the fuck did he do to his head? I know, it's fucking great. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about. This is my first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation. Objection! But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here. Nah, he just went on OnlyFans.
Objection!
Or you just live streamed on Twitch. But there is no proof tying this letter to our case. Our case was and remains simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course. Hey, 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 the only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing reviews. Mr. Brushel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen. What are you talking about? My journalism is rock solid. Journalism so solid you can stand an elephant on it. End quote. Objection, this witness is weird as fuck. Trust me, this is not the weirdest witness we've seen in this fucking series. In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. As if we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, the trial is over. Apollo, what's he talking about? The cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, then the killer had to be Vera, that's what. This next testimony is our last chance. Mr. Brushel, your testimony, please. It is fucking wild. The interview. A recap. The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. Why is Trudy dressed as a magician? Because she is a magician. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She's admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. And nothing left that studio after she died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter. A nice testimony. Clear, succinct, and without room for doubt. Ah, shucks. You really think so? I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your final cross-examination. Right. I still have one trump card left to play. And I won't let this trial end until I use it. Is Brushel an inflatable mascot? I wish. It would have made so much sense, but unfortunately no, he's a reporter. Like freelance journalist. Again, not even the weirdest character we've seen in this game or this series. Mr. Justice is certainly a name of all time, but yeah, Apollo Justice. You have Apollo Justice and then Phoenix Wright, you know, who's always right. Apart from, like, getting disbarred, like, 7 years ago, apparently. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Well, you left. He looks like the kind of journalist who's lucky enough to be on the turf column. Who knows, maybe we'll find some dark secret with him later. Not one thing, you sure? Yep, sure as sure can be. Well, with one exception. One exception? What? Journalist Spark Brushel does interview, leave studio. Exactly, he left. A shit-eating grin. Come on, it's a joke, get it? Not funny, I know, but still. Did something leave the studio that night? Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before? Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night? Just one thing. I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. Could someone make Brushel stop doing whatever he's doing? I wish I could. A certain something that has vanished from the crime scene. By which you mean something other than our witness? Of course. Don't tell me, Vera Mission. Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional. Then let's see what you got for us, Mr. Justice. Brushel's sense of fashion. Maybe his sanity left that night. Well, his thing wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. But I do have evidence that shows how it could have been taken from the scene. The letterbox. Because it's empty! I know my sanity's left. Oh, my sanity left ages ago. This is the only link between that studio and the outside world. A letterbox? What did Mr. Brushel just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Yeah, I said that, and yeah, it was true. Furthermore, he went on to tell us that he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox. Ah, but that very same letterbox was empty. In other words... Okay, a coffee mug with a mustache is so fucking cool. That night, the yellow envelope disappeared. Unfortunately, that coffee mug was poisoned. Ah, yes, intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing. Huh? He has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Mission. Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappeared? Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me. Very well then, the witness will add this to his testimony. You got it. I still think this fails to change anything, Air Forehead. I wouldn't be so sure. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for. That was put in the post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. Hold it! You sure about that? Well, to be really precise, I was busy gobbling mint candies the whole time. One of those candies might have been poisoned. Yet, at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room. And no mint residue was found. It was a long shot anyway. Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee? Well, Mr. Justice, if you have some proof, possibility is there, I can feel it, just maybe not prove it, not yet. And possibility isn't going to cut it, not now. Mr. Misham ingested that poison via a route other than the coffee. I can prove it. Proof is possible. Here goes nothing. I'll do the shredding. You do understand what we need, yeah? Proof, Hair Forehead, not possibilities. Of course, and Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof. What did you say? I have proof of the disappearing envelope. I saw him writing a letter, I did! Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume. Of course, which means that envelope had a stamp on it. A stamp? Ah. As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. Fuck me, I can't talk. In order to use the glue we had, fuck me. Blah. I need to vomit these freaking dumb words out of my mouth. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's try again. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp.
Objection!
There, no one worth talking to actually licks stamps in this day and age. Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. I mean, we don't lick stamps, but we definitely lick Nintendo Switch cartridges. Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all. Do the Nintendo Switch 2 cartridges still, like, taste awful? Has anyone tried that yet? I mean, it's the same cartridges. I would assume they still taste awful. He's dead after all. Okay, so we licked the stamp. But wait, how does that explain the atroquinine on the rim of the coffee mug? If he licked the back of a poison stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if he put the coffee mug to his mouth, Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way round. What? The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Misham. Mr. Misham poisoned the coffee mug himself. Order, order, order! But that doesn't... Does it? Recall, if you would. Atroquinine is a slow-acting poison, yes? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on that envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of joe. Dude, that was another place where the poison was. Stop writing on your arm! Also, why do you even have a toothbrush? Yes, so to add, Mr. Brushel. Uh-oh, his nose is picking up another scent. As I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Bishop sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp! A so-called postage stamp, end quote. But, you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one. Maybe he just ran out? Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps. Not a single one. That does pose a problem. How will you prove that the stamp was coated with poison? Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving the stamp he used was poison possible. Good show, good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. Where's your evidence that proves the existence of this poison stamp? Take that! Well, that certainly is a cute little frame, and by little I mean really little. It was on the victim's desk, Your Honour. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself. I noticed that too during my inspection. So what? Apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important. Missing something? Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Atroquinine residue! What? Why wasn't I told about this? The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most. You aren't saying. Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps? Order! 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 The poison stamp was in this frame? All smack. Impossible! Prosecutor Gavin, why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it there so he could commit suicide at the mood struck. That's a stretch. You know, can I say something? I had a thought, see? What, Mr. Brushel? And please stop jittering around like that. The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too, end quote. So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him. Oh, he's riffing. Look at him go. Smack. Oh, Rich. That's Rich. Lead the ridiculous flights of fancy to the Gavineer's song lyrics, please. Finally, something we agree on. The stamp was a murder weapon? Nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one. Oh, I disagree. Come again? Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Through Misham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. But mail? Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew red letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon. Ridiculous! Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon. I might not have evidence, per se, but things are finally starting to come together. What is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling. I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Misham was killed. Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice. A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I could show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death. Red envelope. Isn't this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago? Think about the text of the letter again. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp, end quote. You go away now. Now what if he had done exactly as the letter asked? He would sign the document, put it in his envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox. 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath, and the murder weapon would have been taken away from the scene. Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system. Dude, I love it when he does that. Such a splendid imagination you have, Air Forehead. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So, this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago. Yeah? Is that what you'd have us believe? Really? Well, it is a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility. Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? A poison stamp in this envelope? A stamp that then became the murder weapon? How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence? Well, it was 7 years ago. We don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silence. I see. Very well. I move to... It's not nice to pick on the Fraulein, Clavier. What the fuck? Where did you come from? Oh, wait, what? Emma! What? What the fuck was that? Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression, did I sound like it? Oh, for God's sake, Emma, why? You had me confused for a second. Did I sound like him? Don't quit your day job. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein Detective? Fraulein. Someone had to come dig you all out the mess you're making in this case. Mess. You know, none of this would happen if you just trusted in signs a little more. You could find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy. Care to explain yourself, Fraulein Detective? Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right? That's right, the poison detection spray. Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court. Ooh. Ooh. There was poison. Well, would you look at that? No mistaking it. That's atrocyanine residue. I don't believe it! A murder weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Gotcha!
Nice rhyming, dude. Absolutely outrageous! Tell me why! Ain't nothing but a... ain't nothing but a hike. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago? Well, there's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Mission figured it out. Figured what out? He realised that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp. And put his decisive evidence in a frame. Hold it. Oh. You're still here? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Can I make a statement here on the record? I, Spark Razor Toothbrushel, claim the scoop as mine. Oh, shut up. Drew Mission killed in cold blood. By sender of 7-year-old letter, end quote. No, maybe something more succinct. Star falls after 7-year delay, end quote. Order, order, order! I see no room for further argument here, though I admit this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp his ticket straight to afterlife, end quote. Uh-oh. I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge. I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant. Apollo! I think we just won. I won! Very well, this court finds the defendant...
Objection!
Yeah, figured it wasn't that. Is this the bright future of our legal system? Prosecutor Gavin? A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago? Tickets for Gavineer's shows are invalid after 2 weeks? But it doesn't make sense any other way. It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in their forehead's claim. A contradiction? A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Mission have done what he did? Emma explained that. He must have realised it was poisoned. But if he knew it was poisoned, why use it? Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Mission sensed a trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this. But this begs the question, why 7 years later did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot? He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and forgot? I mean, slip of the minds can happen. You expect us to believe he sprang the trap on himself? It is true, it's kind of weird. While I admit this is all quite shocking myself, it does seem highly unlikely that he would fall afoul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years. Apollo! I don't think we're winning anymore. I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you. Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope? The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed. What about the atroquinine residue, huh? Oh, I agree, that does seem to be atroquinine residue. But, her forehead, it's certainly no stamp. Yeah, but... even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Mission never would have used it. That is all. Irk! Certified irk moment. I believe we've come to a conclusion, again. Apollo, were we wrong the whole time? I can't believe it. The poison traces match up. It can't be coincidence. I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year, Mr. Justice. Yes, Your Honor? Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Mission received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison atroquinine on the document inside that envelope. A similar trace was also found at the crime scene, on this tiny picture frame. The defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope, an envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it. Yes, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Mission, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp. I'm afraid you're right, which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case. I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. The traces of atroquinine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Misham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us? The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be a fake. Ah, fake clue? Fascinating. And if we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah? The fake clue that's thrown us off the poisonous trail is none other than... probably him. The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself. Congratulations, you've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger? It makes a good story, I'll give you that. The fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Ah! I know that face. That's the I just had an idea face. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake? Come again? 7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. But why? That's what I want to know! Because the forger who was killed was a fake. Found you, faker! Here we are again. The victim was a fake? One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's two forgers, and one of them was a fake! Oh, banger! I like this. I like this song. Order! 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 So you are telling us that Drew Mission, the victim, was a fake? Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You'd better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo. I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us just who the real Drew Mission was. If Drew Mission wasn't the real forger, there's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Drew Mission was himself a forgery. The real forger was... the defendant. There can be only one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger known as Drew Mission is none other than his only daughter, Vera Mission. Order, order, order! Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb even for you. I kind of agree. I mean, Vera, a forger? Let's consider it before you write off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This could only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger. Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense. One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's. If we know that Drew Misham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility, by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Misham. Well... oh, guitar again. Dude, that air guitar is great. Fascinating. Oh, hello. Vera Misham? You've been paying attention to the trial so far. Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger, Drew Misham? That? An expression of emotion I saw on her face? He's staring holes into Prosecutor Gammon's face. I'm used to being stared at by Fräuleins, believe me. But they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes. So the forger Drew Mission was you? I like the happy face. Yes, it was me. What? What? The court was in an uproar and it wasn't coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. Holy shit. Chat, it's all gone down. Alright, Since here at this point, I am going to go make my lunch now. I'll go do that while we're at this point, at this break in proceedings. I'll go make my lunch and chat. I'll be back. That is unbelievable. Number 6. Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Dream Mission was killed. Wasn't Dream Mission the forger, basically? Huh? Well then, who was he? Just a nobody. Well, he was actually... doing her nails. So, you really made those forgeries? Yes. For father. I know it was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I've loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not any paintings I made. Given the materials, I can make anything. Anything? Father was so proud and I so happy. But in the end I was making those forgeries. I've never had a good constitution or personality. I've never had a good constitution. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now because of me, Father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you're already you're already creating your works back then? I started when I was only 12 years old. So the one who figured out the stamp was poison, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time! To the courtroom, please. Right. Oh, I'm out of time. Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice. Yes? Father, he knew of you. Of both of you. Your late father? He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright & Co. law officers. But lately we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business... How pleased he was. Who was Mr. Mission? How am I supposed to know? What if he was Daddy's daddy? Judging from the relative ages involved, I say it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing enough, all these daddies running around. That's a line. We know that the victim's daughter Vera was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. Off we go again. Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. He's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Mission Forger persona? Uh-oh. There's that stare again. He's drilling more holes into his head. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. What's hard? Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting, the remarkably similar one? Ah, yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it. So, she was the one who made the forgeries. Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. I've done a bad thing, I have, haven't I? Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this! You have seen this before, yeah? Yes. It was in the Destral. Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. That's everything you know about this envelope. Dun dun dun. Red envelope. I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it. I received a stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony. Not that the witness realizes it. Very well, please begin the cross-examination. Right, okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Mission. I'm gonna be pressing a lot. So these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right? The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too. So you're quite young now. When did you begin this work? The first painting sold when I was 12. 7 years ago. Your Honor! She had no idea what she was doing was illegal.
Objection!
Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. True. Please, tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father. Alright. Hold it! By other than a painting, you mean... You made them paintings up to that point? Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings. For instance, a letter someone had written. Or a fingerprint left upon a cup. Or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter. Ooh. None of this makes her sound very innocent at all. And the $100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drew Mission. A new industry? The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh. So, you didn't know how the things you were making were being used? I enjoy painting very much. I think I understand. Fraulein has lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope? Father signed them and sent them back, I believe. Did he follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp? This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought. Ooh, excuse me. What do you mean you received it? Did I do something wrong? You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back? Atroquinine? Moment, Hair Forehead. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fraulein Vera, why did you receive the stamp? Is something wrong? It was beautiful. Ah, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps? Yes, I think it was. So you didn't know about the poison? Oh. I guess not. The trap failed by chance, by mistake. Thanks to this commemorative stamp. Quite the close call. You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is? Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books. The single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Mission wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work. So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Mission. You did the work and he supplied the face. So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp, could you tell us more about it? It was very pretty, and more than that, yes, it was a picture of people I liked at the time. Now, this is something new. Yo. Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fraulein. Stan was a picture of my favorite magicians, so okay. Ooh, magician.
Objection!
Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch? Yep. Apollo, they're not a bunch. I see. Still, I have to wonder, why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter? Good question. Well, pretty stamps are always better, and you can't beat Troop Gramarye. But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin. Oh dear. Prosecutor Gavin? Gramarye. What's with Gavin? Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than a painting. Please tell me, what exactly did you make? Can I ask why No. Answer the question. Now. Eek! Prosecutor Gavin? Oh, usually not the one whose volume concerns me. Yes, it is unbecoming of me, I apologise. But I must know, please, Miss Misham, tell me. It was a book. A single page in a book. A book? Please be more specific. It was a handwritten book. Like a diary. Uh-oh. No! I don't know! This is interesting. What's happening? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost. Miss Misham. This book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no? How did you know? Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all your questions. Stop badgering her. Told you nothing, has he? You soiled, sullied mentor. Nothing? Sullied who? Phoenix Wright. Who else? Daddy? He never told you about the trial 7 years ago. About how he came to lose his attorney's badge? It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back it bore the mark of a silk hat. What? She created the image. Miss Phoenix Wright tossed out the profession by false evidence. And the forger who made that evidence... Is this girl standing right in front of me? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in the trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Misham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it? We only met once. You met the client? Well, who was it? It was... What's going on with Vera? Staring at Prosecutor Fat Gavin's face again. Yes, what? Is there something about me? I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary. Who was it? Ugh! Vera! Oh shit. The devil. Oh my god, Satan himself! He did it. Oh, everyone's gone. Defendant Vera Misham, condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis, acute atrophy. Oh, she got poisoned as well! Oh shit! This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. Vera Misham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. Dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. He is currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case, at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colours. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. Yo! It's Phoenix in his glory days! Well, I guess not really so much glory days after what happens at the end, but you know. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. And that is where we must go. Oh, she looks adorable. To find the whole truth. Bro, wow, that was a quick thing. Guess we're going into the past. Yep. To the past, chat. We're going in a freaking time machine. Are we playing as Phoenix at this point? Showdown time! Oh, this was the first case. I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, it seems I found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Why, yes. Over a game of cards. That was how we first met. 7 years ago. "7 years earlier, Phoenix Wright's final trial." Oh boy. Now I'm interested. April 19th, 9:27 AM. Phew, okay, it's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. Got to try and relax. Ah, good morning, Mr. Enigma. Enigma. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand that I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards, and that was enough. Actually, it wasn't. Trust me. Ooh, morning, Daddy! Oh, I'm so glad you came. Wait, oh. You okay, Daddy? They picking on you? I'm fine, as always. It's fucking... what's his name? Zach. This old boy is here to help me, after all. And that's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on. Thanks, my first show's today, after all. Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about? Oh, old boy. Huh, me? Oh, look what he started. Here. What's this? I don't know, I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important. What's this? A memo for you or some such? Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. Uh-oh. I'll give it a read later. Uh-oh! Spaghetti-o! Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it, somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear. Ah, an easy win then, yes? They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year. Switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in, but allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes, they will not be able to pronounce me guilty today, so do your best, but do not worry. First time a defender's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can. I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Impossible? Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy? Yep, you bet, Daddy. Oh, my first look at the case was only yesterday, and the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. My client is Shady Enigma. What a name. Known to the world as Zach Gramarye, a wildly popular magician, star of Troop Gramarye. His mentor, Magnifi Gramarye, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic, till he was shot dead. And Zach Gramarye is the suspect. Oh, fuck. What an interesting time. Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Enigma. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Hey man. Prosecution ready? I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really. Buzzkill? Is this some new kind of crime? One of the worst. This is a trial, yeah? Where are the sweaty palms, the pounding hearts? A Gavin Ears concert's got 10 times the thrill this gig's got. Oh, he's the same prosecutor, man. It's still freaking... Who are you again? Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started. Legally, yeah? Gavin? Defense attorney Christoph Gavin's... Ah, figures my bro's most famous in this part of town. Javier Gavin. Lead singer for the mega hit band The Gavin Ears. You're out your league, rock boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out your league, rock boy. True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah? Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Eurorock accent, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up, Air Attorney Wright. Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on the case? Act Kung, baby! Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again? Ah, yes, Detective Gumshoe! Yes! Gumshoe, my boy! I've missed you. I've missed you so much, Gumshoe. I missed you so much. And you are? Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir. Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct. Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see. Hey, you! Huh? Me? Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see? What, you normally lack confidence in the testimony? Head detective, this is my stage. Candy antics. Huh? All this hey youing and such, and I could care less about your history together. Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand. It happened 6 days back in a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient asleep in a hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and BAM! Lights out. Gorilla Radio. Them's the facts. Not so long ago, the victim, Magnifique Gramarye, was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were. Ah, yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifique to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare. Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Gramarye has made quite a name for themselves. Anyhow, the retired Magnifique's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? Malignant tutor or something. Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah. A malignant tumour, perhaps. In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact. Oh dear. Malignant tumour. The facts do seem simple enough, but something's not right. The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? I wouldn't put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die? Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes. Oh man, getting close to home. Then again, my case isn't as serious or severe, I guess. My one's more under control. Diabetes. In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin when he was shot with a pistol. The syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. Yeah, fucking Christ, what a double whammy. Yeah, I don't need insulin for mine. I might need it in the future. That would be wild. But right now, no. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life. I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had? Very well, detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting. Yes, sir! Dude, I am Miss Gumshoe. Oh my god. Now we just need an Edgeworth cameo. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. I like how they're using the old music as well. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. But what? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting? There's the facts. I have here the letter in question. My beloved student Zax, you entrust us to... I was going to read that. Yeah. Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder? I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter. Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court? Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir. One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why haven't come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details, Heir Attorney. Well, was there some reason? As it turns out, there was. Every night, for a half hour, starting at 11, the victim, Magnifique Gramarye, was given an IV. IV? There it is in the picture, off to the side of the bed. At 11 o'clock, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night without fail. That was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption during his IV. Well, very well, shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would. What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me. Man. Again, I like the use of the old music. I wonder if we'll get the old, like, Sue music. Hold it! How can you be so sure? Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking. You fail to grasp the concept of questioning, detective. First, we've got this letter. It says shoot in the forehead loud and clear. I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it. Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal. You fail to grasp the concept of shooting people is bad, detective. We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene. Traces of the gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently. Well, Mr. Wright? As far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with... He shot something else. He shot the clown on the left. There seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim. The photo? Maybe there's something in there I can use. So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead? I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigma shot something else. Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me. Yes? What does the letter tell us? The defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes. Bingo, pal. That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead. Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make. Still does the wall smack. What, and you can prove that with this photo? I can prove he had a choice, yes. Defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If they didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot? The clown doll. Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead too. Ah, there's a hole in its forehead. Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim. Ha! And I suppose you have a reason as to why he shot the clown doll? He didn't just shoot the doll, he shot the doll's forehead. His forehead? Ah! Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead, which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead. The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead. It definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter. I admit I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead as ordered, but the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life. The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim. So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He hasn't realised just how big this little hole is going to get. No, not small. Gay though, yes. Not small, but hello. Never small. Dr. Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony. Bow, 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 bow. Hold it! You mean this pistol, the one in the crime scene photo? That's the one! It's a funny looking gun, so there's no mistaking it. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. So, you verified the murder weapon, in other words. You bet we did! Why was it left there, though? Why are you so certain? What pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You never heard of Zack and Valant's quick draw shoot 'em? Huh? What's that? One defender's specialties. Zack and Valant stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot, but the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on stage. This was one of the pistols they used in their show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it. Many boys and girls joined the police because of that pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force. True Gramarye stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to that pistol ever since. The court would like to see the pistol in question. You got it, sir. Here she is. Well, this truly is a blast from the past. It's a stage pistol for magic shows, see? But it can fire real bullets. It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV. Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces haven't been fired recently. So, were any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is in fact a fingerprint of its own. Aha! Intriguing point. Well made. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Not well made, not intriguing. In any case, the court accepts this evidence. My grandchild will get a kick out of seeing this. But now it's time to return to our testimony. Still shot the victim, pal. Well, there's two bullets that fired, but it fired one real bullet. That one. Objection! The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand? Yeah, but like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and he fired one bullet. Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he cannot. The murder weapon? How? It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too. Yuck! That's not a contradiction, not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot. Oh, where did he get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. Nah, this party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet beyond my good looks and startling record sales. An utter lack of humility. What's this? It seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared. Like I said, our detective was just a warm-up act. Ugh. Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready. Ready for what? For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zack Gramarye who shot the victim in the forehead. Very well. We'll pause for a 15-minute recess. This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zack. Court is adjourned. Oh, to be continued again. Alright, on to the next part. And the next day. And the next day. April 19th, 11:21 AM. We're so close to 4:20. And alarming number 2. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expected nothing less. We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually. I did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discovered the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know. I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened? Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You'll scare Trucy. Speaking of which, where is she? You've seen the problem yourself. The letter. The one shot in the forehead one, right? Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I cannot deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death. Why not? Is this something I will not say, for now at least? What's this for now business? I have done many things in my life, some well, some poorly. But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves. We? You wanted to know about the night of the incident? Finally, this guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff. Of course, I had no intention of shooting him as a mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. And found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. 2? Yes, the one I had used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valant. Oh, for the second Valant's quick draw thing. My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then for a moment. You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him? Recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first. Though there were other requests you couldn't refuse before. To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I brought pain upon Trucy. Was Magnifique coercing his disciples somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Gramarye? Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown! I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. Your pocket? I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you'll find it to be different than the one in my mentor. What were those called? Rifling marks. Yes, well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case. Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you could tell me? You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright. Thanks? Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened. What? Magnifique Gramarye? The old devil. He was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And then we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion, maybe 5-10 minutes or so. What did you talk about? Haha, Mr. Wright. Did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case. That Gramarye, he seems pretty steadfast to me, or maybe just stubborn. Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom. Once again, I am in your hands. Right, let's get back in there. Let's do it! I wonder who the next witness is. Court is now back in session. During our recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head. Well, this is news. And the rifling marks? There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis, but they did find the weapon type matches the murder weapon. Well, that's not very conclusive, is it? Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness. Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? But they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production. Being the other half of Troop Gramarye's famous duo, Zack and Valant. Oh, it's Valant. Valant Gramarye. So, we get to meet the great Magnifique's other disciple. Oh, he's younger. Of course he is. It's 7 years ago. No shit. Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation. Valant Gramarye, magician. And you're the decisive witness, are you? You can prove your fellow student your partner's guilt? Fate, the grand illusion, filled with traps and tricks. But wait, the shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock that night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late? If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes. Okay. I always get the characters, don't I? I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this. That looks very familiar. Wait. That's the same letter Zack Gramarye received! Yes, or perhaps I should say, ta-da! Order! And what does it say? Surely not the same thing. Perhaps you should see for yourself. Oh, different time. Why, it's practically the same. The court accepts this into evidence. This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? What exactly was your Troop Gramarye up to? By which you mean? I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less. It's just my opinion there, Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. We walked the magician's path together, and in so doing, shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there is strain, a warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand. By which you mean you're not going to tell us. Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse. Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zach Gramarye, stands accused. Tell us why. Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise, singing hymns to the miracle that is magic. Fascinating. Though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene. In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time. As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes. And now it's time to get this party fired up. Sure is. Night of the crime. That night I visited the hospital room at the time Magnifi requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions, yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police. So you are the one who reported the crime? Indeed, I would think this fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. Let's not jump to any conclusions. Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in this court, but if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zach Gramarye, is guilty. And if it wasn't Zach Gramarye, then the killer was you, Volant. And no disappearing act will get you out of that. The night of crime. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, deal with the dead is still a deal. So he said he shot the clown instead. How do you know the clown? There were 2 bullet holes at the scene, one in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? No doubt my partner Zach has said much the same thing. Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. I better dig around here a bit more and see what I turn up. Mr. Volant, let me ask about something else concerning the crime scene. Namely, I guess it can be the number of pistols, right? Yeah. How many pistols were there when you entered the room? By which you mean what precisely? 2 pistols were used in the Zach and Volant quick draw shoot-'em, correct? One for each of you. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night. What did Zach tell me back in the lobby? He took the first pistol. Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time, and found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. I see no problem with that statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all. So you picked up that pistol and fired it? Indeed I did. Alakazam! Alakazang! Alakaboom! Is number of pistols really so important? Quite important. Number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Oh, very well. Please add this detail to your testimony. What can I do but obey? Only 1 pistol was in the hospital room that night. With it, I shot the clown.
Objection!
Objection! According to the defendant, Zach Gramarye, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table. 2? One of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead, and he left with it in his pocket. Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head. Well, what about what Mr. Volant has told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense. What might that be? I told you I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. That's your story, at least. Huh? But the rifling marks tell us a very different story, Mr. Volant. Recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. Mr. Volant, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. Order, order, order! Well, this is all rather sudden. What have I done? Prosecutor Gavin? I owe the court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifling marks only proved the type of the gun that fired them. But that's not what you told us before. You said you'd verified the murder weapon. Which is why I'm apologising to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth? That was just this morning! I am still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now. Volant Gramarye? Yes, Your Honour. You were presented to this court as a decisive witness, but you've proven to be more divisive than decisive. Got him. You'll see in time. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next. Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin? When Mr. Volant entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. As his next testimony will prove! Right, the real fight is about to begin. Bring it. Very well, the witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what. Hell yeah. I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 PM. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation and then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 PM. And the one in the room at that time was my partner, not me. Those times are rather close, you have to admit. You're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. Use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis of your alibi. It's easy to explain in this situation here, Judge. For example, take our debut hit single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love. Cue to the song, press the play button, and it will play for 2 minutes 15 seconds. Do it 100 times, the result is the same. The debut single was only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long? What a rip-off! Magic is a world of utmost precision. Hocus pocus requires admirable focus. And in the time of death determined by the doctor, there is an incontrovertible truth. Very well, the prosecution warns us that we're dealing with rather precise times, and we can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision. I would hope the defence refrains from its customarily broad sweeping accusations, lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands. Point taken. Baseless remarks will result in a penalty. Carry on, Mr. Wright. Carry on, Wright. Who shot what? Who shot Mr. Burns? It was Maggie. By accident. There you go. Who did? I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb to say I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time? We do usually only get an estimated time of death, true. I'm not sure I've heard of a verified time of death. Magic revels in making the complex appear simple, but reality is the opposite. What appears complex in this case is a simple matter of subtraction. I see another person has done their arithmetic homework. Point here is the IV the victim was taking. It's quite visible in the photograph of the scene. I guess so. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim, Magnifi Gramarye's schedule. Every night at 11, Magnifi took an IV drip for 30 minutes. I see the IV bag right there, yes. Now, look a little closer. Follow the tube down from the bag to the end. Oh, it's taken out. The needle's been removed! Doubtlessly, it fell out when he was shot. That does seem to be the case. When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips. Ah, you could just measure the remaining IV liquid. Precisely. The IV liquid functions for our purposes as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From the amount remaining in the bag, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after administration began. Oh man. And so it was, when I, Valant, entered that room, 10 minutes had passed since that horrible crime was committed. And this is proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Does that seem important? Very important. Well, seeing how it is the biggest clue we have to the time of death, I'd say it's very important. Agreed. It would be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. Behold, the power of arithmetic! Very well. The witness will add this detail to his testimony. Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. You know it. Did you notice the IV yourself by any chance? When first I entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assailed me. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then, his left arm did I spy a rose drooping and wilted. Its thorn, the discarded IV needle. Knocked from the vein by the force of the shot. Luckily for you. If that IV had not been there, why, you might be a suspect. Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky colour. Your lucky colour? Indeed, even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self, for it always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valant won their first Magician's Grand Prix, yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians. How to aim. I was adorned in this attire then too, and our trophy, a bust. Ah, what a day it was. This is one trip down memory lane no one needs. My lucky colour, yes indeed, and that IV too. I think 'twas hued especially for me, Valant. That does seem to be the case, but there's different colours. The IV's green. That does seem to be the case indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony? Valant sure looks happy with himself. Okay, how about this lucky colour testimony? It certainly sounds like your lucky colours brought you plenty of luck, but not this time. Mr. Valant, your lucky colours betrayed you. I'm afraid you lost me. Your Honour! The witness's testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence. What? Please recall my warning at the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalised. I do hope this latest accusation is well based. Don't worry, I've got all your bases right here, and they belong to us. Very well, let's hear the defence's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts what Mr. Valant has told us? Take that. The crime scene tells all, Your Honour. The photo of the crime scene? All this talk of colour has me yearning for black and white, clear-cut simplicity. Tell us, Herr Wright, just where is the contradiction in this photo? My pleasure, and I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything in black and white. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. When this photo contradicts the witness's testimony. Green. Valant Gramarye, let's get one thing straight about your lucky colour. It's yellow, yes? Kinda takes the mystery out of it, but yes. Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright? Yes, there is, decisively wrong in fact. Take another look at the photo of the crime scene. What's this? Confusion? Doubt? Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy? Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valant. Look at that IV bag! What is this? What? Foul magic! It would be hard to call the IV liquid yellow, and I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking this photograph. Alakano! It's hiding the birds the entire time. Order! 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 What does this mean? This is some kind of mistake! Yes, Prosecutor Gavin, your witness's mistake. The greener they are, the harder they fall. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Valant Gramarye, as you reminded us several times, your lucky colour is yellow, but the IV is clearly not. But, well... This contradiction can mean only one thing. And to think, you almost had me. I see your true colours now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence. Yes, a contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright. How do you mean? How? Because the witness has made no mistakes. I agree, at a glance the IV liquid does appear a sort of greenish yellow, but I assure you the liquid itself is quite yellow. Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green. Yes, but what colour is the IV bag itself? The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook? It's blue. Blue and green. It looks like I want to say light blue. Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put a yellow liquid in a blue bag and you get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true colour. I see. Your explanation does have the ring of truth to it.
Objection!
As I thought, there's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin. What? You may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave. For you, that is. Grave? Liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did this witness know that? Quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? Irk! Your Honour! The defence requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how did the witness know the IV liquid is actually yellow? Oh, hell yeah. Banger. Alakazong! Hell yeah. I love it. I was waiting for it, chat. I was waiting for the music. And it's come back to me and I'm so happy. Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once. The witness clearly knew the colour of the IV liquid, so I'm sure it means something, but what? I can think of only one possibility, Your Honour. The witness, Valiant Gramarye, has testified that the IV liquid was yellow because he'd seen it before. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before, but not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colourless bag. I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what all this means. Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at a hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honour.
Objection!
I'm afraid I find nothing, so what if he knew the IV liquid's colour? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah?
Objection!
The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin. I remember it well. However, there's a crucial difference between an hourglass and an IV bag. Wait, I know! An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right? Oh, yeah. As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honour, no. Unlike the sands flow through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body, at which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in.
Objection!
Let me get this straight here, right? You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag? Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow. Now wait, I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task? I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup. I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat? He has a point, amateurs. I at least would have had some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to that IV to throw off the time of death. I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth? Valiant Gramarye, I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime. May I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic. And the prop was... a small syringe. The victim's syringe. It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick. And easy enough for an amateur to use. What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it. And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Well, Valant Gramarye, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you could manipulate at will. Alakazam! Man, what a wild thing. I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that while there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in that bag, the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today. Well, maybe I could squeeze an extra day out of this. I could do a little much needed investigation work. I see there are no objections. Court is... Truly there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. A word to the wise. Underestimate the young and they'll sweep your feet out from under you in a way you never ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. What are you talking about? You say the witness used a syringe to manipulate the level of the IV liquid, but there is no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. Huh? He's admitting it? Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This, I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much? You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin? Proof, fair judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less. What's this? This is the victim, Magnifi Gramarye's diary. Diary? After going into the hospital, Magnifi began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his startling debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 PM. Let's read it, shall we? Ooh. This does appear to have been written just before his death. The court accepts this into evidence. Read the very last part with particular care. Journal may end here or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his, he refers to our defendant, Zach Gramarye. That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor after all. But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here or it may go on. It may go on. Magnifi Gramarye intended to write again. That is, if Zach Gramarye didn't pull the trigger. Oh, I see what's happening. Oh, I see what's happening. Oh no. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on. It ends. But there's clearly a page ripped out, just say that. Because Magnifi's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Gramarye. I see what's going to happen, and I'm not going to like it, but I'm going to need to do it. Order, order, order! Prosecutor Gavin, are you certain that Magnifi Gramarye wrote this? There is no mistaking his handwriting. Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifi did intend to continue his story. Yet if his diary ended here, which plainly it did, then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Gramarye. Well, how do you like me now, Airite? Still too green for your taste, He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe they'd overlook such an obvious problem with this precious evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking. But put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case. If the diary is accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show him something. Ugh! I'm not gonna like it. I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence. What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary? Not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment. Very well, please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright. Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary I've just shown the court. Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. Alright, I'd be happy to. The decisive evidence proving that the diary didn't end with this page is... Oh, I'm gonna hate this. Means fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. Clearly this is the forged evidence and I hate it, but I'm gonna have to do it. First, take a close look at this diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out. What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all. That's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Like, I don't believe it! Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifique Gramarye. That's the defense's position. But wait, let me see that. What, in Sam Hill? Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary! Uh-oh. I have a feeling bad things are about to happen. Well, we already know they're going to happen. Note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page in Magnifique's diary. Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, Heir Attorney? The diary continued after his first visitor came, which means that the victim was still alive after Zack Gramarye left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Belon Gramarye! No! No! Handwriting too matches that on the other pages. This is, without a doubt, the genuine article. Order! 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 But wait, that's impossible! That old man couldn't have written that.
Objection!
Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Heir Wright? Is this what, presenting solid evidence? Heir Judge? Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? May I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? Prosecution would like to call a new witness. But Prosecutor Gavin, this evidence overturns the current witnesses. I ask only to put it on hold. Please, my new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes. No more. I promise, Your Honor. Well, if you put it that way. Mr. Wright, what's your take on this? Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner. Then, though this is highly, highly irregular, we will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring this surprise witness to the courtroom. I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped out page was too obvious. He must have known. And I should have known it was a bad sign all around. Holding trial with no audience is a first, even for me, Prosecutor Gavin. I beg the court's understanding. I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony. Judiciary deal? Details of his testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say. That's also the guy that we're investigating. Well, the guy who died. I thought it best to contain the information to this room. Very well. And you are the witness, I gather. Yes, sir. State your name and occupation for the record. My name is Drew Misham. I'm a painter. A painter? And you are somehow related to this case? No, well, not per se. I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Mission, was it? Do you know what this is? Oh, yeah, I know it well. How's that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before? Oh yeah, I mean, I made it. You... What? You made it? Yes, you might call it one of my works. The prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gramarye. Illegal evidence? I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large, Drew Misham has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words. Forgeries? Well, so we are to understand that this page here is a fake, prepared by a certain defense attorney. Hold it! I didn't prepare this evidence. Ah, the attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume? But what is it? What is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix Wright. Witness! Mr. Mission, was it? Objection, indeed. Who requested this forgery? Who was your client? That... I don't know. What? Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items they want and receive my payment. And that's the extent of my contact with them. But, there's no proof this is a fake. It's a fake. Huh? To avoid just this sort of problem, I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt, this is mine. Well, we got set up, chap. We got set up. Set up to fall. Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court. My court. It was careless of me. That's all I can say. Oh boy. Here. Trucy was the one who gave it to us. Ew! What's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important. It was all a trap. A fatal trap. Mr. Wright? Yes? Do you have an explanation for yourself? If I did, would the court hear it? Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime, and presenting it in court, a serious mistake. A fatal mistake for an attorney. Fatal too, perhaps, for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one! Your Honor, wait! I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime, but you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Your Honor? Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, yeah? I even gave you a chance! Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself. I see no need for further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed. Mr. Attorney? Yes? Could I ask your name? Phoenix Wright. Mr. Wright. I have seen and studied many people, but none like you. I remember you, Mr. Wright. Well, shit. Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must... Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Zach? There is one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible. I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you. Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict when your defendant does not exist? Doesn't exist. What are you talking about? I am talking about this! Wow. Mr. Enigma! The defendant has escaped! Find him, quick! Bailiff, close all exits from the building. On the double! He must not be allowed to escape! God, this is wild. That day, in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shady Enigma, aka Zach Gramarye, did not just escape from court, he literally, unbelievably, vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again. Not since that day. This is the Gramarye miracle. No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. The trial of magician Zach Gramarye vanished along with him for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however, but not until 7 years later. Dun dun dun! There is quite a lot left, holy shit. Okay, chat, here's what we're gonna do. I think we'll wrap it up here. Very good point to wrap it up here. Oh, the Mason system. Mason, what do the numbers mean? We'll wrap it up here, and we'll finish this game up on Tuesday, next Tuesday. That will be the 13th. That is the 13th. So, yes! Cliffhanger, chat! Very much a cliffhanger. But we'll definitely wrap it up next time out on Tuesday. Well, I say next time out, we've still got another stream tomorrow, but... Man! Things have gone wild, haven't they, in this freaking thing? It's all connected, chat. It's all connected. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there. I know it's a little early, but it's a good point to wrap it up. And then we'll finish it up on Tuesday. And yeah, should all be good. Should all be good, chat. Very fun. So yeah, also my voice is dying. You can probably hear it. But so yeah, we'll wrap it up there today. We'll finish this game up on Tuesday. Before then, though, next stream is tomorrow, where we should be doing Jackbox. Should be happening this week. I know it didn't happen last week when I said it would, but it should be happening this week on tomorrow. So make sure you look forward to that one. You can join in the audience and stuff. It's very fun, very enjoyable, very good. Anyway, let's go raid somebody, shall we? Who can we go annoy? Wow, I literally have no people that I follow who are online. Alright. Bruh. Everyone in this server that's live. No, I'm the only one live. Great. Awesome. Alright, who can we go annoy then? Because I've got no one. Oh, good lord. What about horses? Is there any horses online that's not... Wow, there isn't anyone, huh? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh wait, did someone just come live? No. Hold on, chat. I'm going to find someone. Give me a second. I will find someone. I swear to God. Alright, we got options. We have options. Well, a lot of people doing art. That's cool. Actually, I wonder if there's someone else with this tag. Hold on, give me a second. Macro Furry, let's do this. One's doing art and the other one's doing World of Tanks. I wonder if I could rate this person. Apparently they have the macro tag as well. They're doing art. Ah, fuck it. Let's see if I can do this one. Let's see this one. Dead Amphro. That's a good name. But yeah, that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. Hope the rest of your Fridays go well. And hopefully I'll see you all next time. Boop.